Today we have a very special guest. He is from Italy. He's here with us because we are celebrating 500 years of the death of Leonardo da Vinci. And of course, you all know who Leonardo da Vinci is. I guess you know him from way back when you were in school. Leonardo da Vinci, of course, is the main thing, the main person in a series of activities that we're going to have in November, no? So our guest of honor today, someone who will explain to us what these activities are, is Mr. Alessandro Milani. I'm Jojo Silvestre. I'm with Miss Dina Ventura of Daily Tribune. So our guest is Mr. Alessandro Milani, who is the manager of the Philippine Italian Association.
Right.
So tell
hello,
us.
hello
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
Hello Jojo and Dina. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah. So first, tell us about Leonardo da Vinci. Why is he special? Why do we need to celebrate his?
Yes, why should we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why should we talk about Leonardo da Vinci 500 years later? Well, because and everybody knows Leonardo da Vinci, so why should we talk about him? Because we know Leonardo da Vinci from a scholar point of view. We know about Leonardo da Vinci, what he did, his paintings, his idea, his machinery, his invention, his being in anatomy, his being into war engineering, his being into civil engineering. Invented the helicopter or the flying machine 400 or maybe more years before the first airplane really took off.
Also, Cinderella's carriage.
Yes. So we know all this, and Leonardo da Vinci seems like a character so far away from us, no? A person of abnormal intelligence and something that comes from maybe another world. But no, what we want to show is that Leonardo da Vinci was not just a very human and sensitive person, but it's also very contemporary in many ways. So we are concocted a series of activities to bring him back, almost physically actually, because you will see there will be Leonardo da Vinci in town, and then talking about him in with different arts, because we know that he touched many arts, painting, music, sculpture, and architecture. And so we are going to have a movie.
A movie, yeah.
A theater play. A masterclass, and all these will be based on the on question that we can ask Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci will answer us, and then we will enter more in detail in these activities. We will talk about Leonardo da Vinci and the cuisine, because we didn't know it before. Actually, not everybody knows it.
Yeah.
But Leonardo da Vinci worked in a restaurant.
Oh, he did.
He was named the master cook of the Sforza family, which was the noble family in Milan at the time.
He had time to cook.
Master cook actually was not a chef, was the kind of director of all the chefs, etc.
Okay.
But there are the books we studied preparing these activities reported a strike of the chefs in the Sforza court. They didn't want to enter in the kitchen anymore because there were too many machines, and they felt it was dangerous to enter there. And so we don't know how much is history, how much is a legend, but there are those are the information we found. But he was connected to cuisine, And this seems a real historical information. He tried to revolution the way the nobility was eating, and started what we would call perhaps today nouvelle cuisine. So instead of eating kilos and kilos of meat, and he tried to present a sculpted carrot on a plate, well disposed, very aesthetically,
Wow,
etc.
even then. That is
And
being done.
but apparently the customer and the clients didn't like it.
Can you do different?
Yeah. He must have drawn something on the plate.
Yeah,
Food
yes.
art.
Yeah.
Food art somehow, and yeah, so we will talk about with our culinary consultant, Chef Salvatore Aria. We will talk about the relation of Leonardo and the cuisine, and then also wine, because Leonardo had a vineyard in Milan, and so all this we are trying to picture. And then of course we will talk about Leonardo the painter. So we will have a dinner talk in to better focus on the classic Leonardo da Vinci.
Let's talk first about the play. Let's go back to the play. So, what will this play be about?
Yeah, the core of activities revolves about the work of Massimiliano Finazzerflori. Massimiliano is one of the most important Italian artists on the international scene. In 2012, he started his researches on Leonardo da Vinci, and finally on 2015, he was able to present a play at the World Expo in Milan. The play was titled Being Leonardo da Vinci, The Impossible Interview. And he imagined, what if a journalist today would ask questions to Leonardo? What Leonardo would answer? And it's very interesting because the journalist will ask a relevant question for today. What you know, Leonardo was a mysterious guy, so he was dressing in a maybe not in black, but like a kind of wizard, no? Long vest, long blouse, long hair, beard, head. So he didn't have a wife. He always lived almost separated from the. So there was he cultivated also the aesthetic of his person, giving his tone and so what there are a lot of his sides of his life that we don't know. So what a journalist could ask him, and you are a journalist, so you know, and Leonardo will answer with all that Leonardo will say in the play is actually taken literally from his notebooks. So there's a lot of research to prepare a lot of work to prepare this show. And then so Leonardo will answer in Renaissance Italian, and it will be there will be a translation screen.
Very interesting.
Yeah, a Filipino is collaborating with the rest. No?
The journalist is played by Lito Casaje.
So he plays
the journalist. So it's a
Okay.
collaboration. It's also a Philippine Italian show somehow.
Yeah, and who's playing Leonardo?
Mr. Finazzerflori, Massimiliano
okay,
Finazzerflori.
okay. So
he's also the
coming to
playwright.
town.
Yes, he's arriving in to Manila. Yeah. And so we will present the play at the CCP on November 21
Yes.
at 7 p.m. And is one act.
Yes.
One act play. Is I think it's really interesting. There are also some prevision forecast that Leonardo said that there's a part where he envisioned the future, and we say things that I will not unveil here, but that takes us to our contemporary society.
Really?
Mm.
And he guessed
He
it right.
foresaw.
He guessed it right.
Wow.
He guessed it right.
So he also had that the talent.
Of course.
Yeah. So who are sponsoring all these events?
This event is organized by the Philippine Italian Association together with the Italian Chamber of Commerce and the Italian Embassy, of course. And we were helped a lot by our main sponsors. The co-presenter is Oman Air, then Roosters, and Hotel Gem
Yeah.
in Manila. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also East West Bank. It says.
And
here.
this is West Bank, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. And so this other thing, the play, aside from the play, you have a movie?
Actually, we with Massimiliano bringing here Massimiliano Finanziel Flori, we were able to bring to Manila a package, almost a full package. So because his research started with theater and evolved eventually into cinema, so the play became a movie. And the movie is part of the European Film Festival, Cine Europa. Was premiered in Makati in September and is now touring the Philippines. And the last chapter of the festival will be in Manila at the Cinematheque Center of the Philippine Development Council of the Philippines in Calao Street. And on November 19, Mr. Finanziel Flori will present his movie, and then it will be screened.
What's the title of the movie?
Same than the theater play, so it's Being Leonardo da Vinci,
okay.
An Impossible Interview. And the story is very similar. Is more cinematographic, of course. Is adapted for. So there's a thriller. It's the 500th death anniversary of Leonardo da Vinci, and there are two journalists, one from Milan, one from New York, that are looking for a scoop about his life, and they were brought to Amboise in France, where he died, and they found Leonardo da Vinci. And they find him finally, and so they start to ask him questions, and then Leonardo brings them to visit the different places where he lived, worked, etc. So,
Will there be just one show? Just one?
I think there's a
screening?
second screening, and I wasn't able to. They are finalizing now the schedule. The festival in Cine Europa in Calao Street, the Cinematheque Center, will be from November 13 to 24. So I invite everybody to watch not just the Italian film, but all the European films. And the Italian film will be for sure on November 19, in the presence of the actor and director. And then I don't know the second screening when it will be, but in those dates.
So what is a master class? What do you mean by that? You're having a master class and short movie screening. Of course, the short movie screening would be that movie, you know. But what about master class? Will there be a lecture or something?
Yeah, Massimiliano Finanziel Flori will conduct this master class helped by Lito Casaje, and we will screen the short version of the movie, of the full-length movie, and the idea is to prove the central point of the work of Mr. Flori, which is that Leonardo da Vinci is somehow the great-grandfather of the designer, of the contemporary designer. There was no design at the time, there was no the concept of design, but Leonardo da Vinci defined himself as an inventor. An inventor, he said, he wrote down, is somebody who combines 2-3 different elements and gives them a new life with an special attention to aesthetic. And this is the basis of the work of a designer,
Right. So
of the concept of a designer. So he will prove this through his masterclass, and he will also prove that cinema is somehow connected. Cinema is an art that was not there at the time of Leonardo da Vinci, but it's very, very much connected to his work, because cinema is a mixing of different arts. There's lighting, there's acting, there's editing, there's and Leonardo, well, he played with all these of different arts, music.
So much way ahead of his time.
So this is something, the masterclass, aside from the possibility of talking to the actor and the director, is also the opportunity to better discover Leonardo from a different point of view and really make him a contemporary character. Figure.
So, what dishes are they serving for the cook-off?
And then we discussed earlier about the link between Leonardo and the cuisine,
very new.
which is something new, exactly. And so we partner with three different universities: Lyceum of the Philippine University, the Culinary Institute, Saint Scholastica has also a college of hotel management and leisure, I think, and restoration, and National University. And we will have lectures in the three universities on November 5 and 6. And then on November 14, we will gather the teams selected by each university, and we will have a cook-off. The jury will be led by our consultant, Chef Salvatore Ria, and we will see
who will win.
So they will have to cook with Renaissance ingredients.
Wow.
No electricity, almost. Yeah,
Fire
interesting. So this and another event about the cuisine will be on November 20 at the Ponte Rialto restaurant in Venice Gran Canal Mall. And there, the same concept of Leonardo cuisine and wine will be developed by Chef Salvatore Ria and Sommelier Galli. Yeah. And then we have another dinner on November 13 at Caruso Restaurant in Makati, Bel Air. And there we will talk about The Last Supper, which is one of the main and most known painting of Leonardo da Vinci. Somehow a failure of Leonardo da Vinci, because he innovated so much that he tried to revolution the techniques, but in the end the painting is not conserved as well as we wish. And then it will also be the occasion to contextualize Leonardo da Vinci in his time and the history, etc.
You know, I just saw a menu here.
There are different menus, yes.
Okay.
For the dinner talks.
Okay, so this salsiccia arrosto would be sausage.
Sausage, yes.
Yeah, salsiccia, no? Right. Then patate arrosto would be potato? No.
Yeah, roasted potato.
See,
Arrosto is
good.
roasted.
Roasted, yes.
Okay. Pasta sessi with chickpeas.
Pasta with chickpeas, yes.
Chickpeas, okay. It sounds very appetizing. Delicious.
And it will be.
Zucchini fried zucchini, I guess.
Yes, bravo.
Now we're learning Italian.
Speaking of food, let's
can.
talk about his. What are the best places for Italian food here in Metro Manila?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, maybe?
You can come to my place.
The best place.
Do you cook?
I have this. No, there are many Italian restaurants in Manila. I think that.
So many, but which ones are?
I think there are really a lot in each city. Makati, Quezon City, you will find some. Manila. Each city has a good restaurant, and then each restaurant will be better in one dish than another one, and I will not say names. I think that there are many good restaurants.
So it's
And
not just-
but my idea of Italian cuisine, and this is also what we are trying to do at the Philippine Italian. We are doing the Philippine Italian Association is to because cuisine for us, for Italians, is mainly homemade.
Yes.
You know, there are studies of the houses, European houses, no? And usually the center of the house is the living room, but for Italy is the kitchen.
Oh.
And and I see the difference when I go home to my parents, and we spend the time together is mainly in the kitchen. Is we spend it in preparing the lunch or the dinner, and then to consume
Yes.
the meal together, and so it's a family thing.
Very nice.
And I remember when I was little with my grandmother to preparing the gnocchi on Sunday, and so it's really a family thing. That's why I answer, come to my to my
Yes.
place, because it's
The place
yes, it's a home thing, and it goes beyond the taste. Actually, it's more about tradition, doing things together and sharing around
very
a meal.
nice.
This for me is somehow the essence of
Italian.
the Italian cuisine. I know the chef that we will see this will disagree, but I think there's a lot of our tradition in the cuisine that goes beyond the preparation itself. It's more about the. I mean, it's linked to the preparation because it's doing things together. So we have actually at the Philippine Italian Association. We started the beginning of the year culinary meeting. On Saturday we gather and we create our menu.
Really?
We started from the appetizer and then we finish last Saturday, Saturday 28th with of October with the dessert. And so throughout the year we created an entire menu. And we cook together and we eat together, and so it's really a place we transform one room of the association into.
So this is an activity of the Philippine.
This is one of the activities, and you know the Philippine Italian Association.
Yeah, tell us about the Philippine Italian Association.
It's a cross-cultural organization who was created in 1962, so it's 57 years old. And was created, of course, to talk about Italian culture, because at the time Italy was not very visible in the Philippines as it is today. But it was also a place, a kind of platform, a place where people could meet and exchange, Filipinos and Italian, and get to know each other better. And then it evolved. Language plays a big role in our association. Language courses, Italian language courses. We started in 2016 also Filipino language courses to Italians and foreigners who settle here, or to who want to discover better the country. So language is very important, but we still are that place of encounter that we that was 57 years ago.
What's the Italian population in the Philippines?
I don't have the numbers. It's really the embassy who has this. I think I heard we are about 3,000 Italians registered at the embassy.
But how many members do you have in the Philippine Italian Association?
We are less than 200, I think.
Oh, okay. You meet regularly?
We have, yes, we have, usually we meet every 3 months, quarterly. And then our big event is usually the Christmas party. And yes, and then these are the big events where we assemble the membership, but the members. But then we have these small activities throughout the year where we try to yes, to be present in. And then we also have the big cultural activities like the one connected to Leonardo da Vinci, film festivals, etc. We have, but those are more to talk about Italian culture, or when we organize something in Italy, is to talk about Filipino culture in Italy. But the events, the activities for intended to be availed to benefit the membership are yes, 4 or 5 in the year.
Who are the leaders? Who are the big names in the association?
Well, we have our president is Ms. Tantoko, Mr. Naita
Nedi,
Tantoko.
yeah. How long has she been president?
I don't know.
But I think it's been quite.
I think it's more than 10 years.
Yeah.
But I joined the organization 4 years ago, so I don't know exactly the date. Is must be around 10 years, yes. Mm.
And who else are active in the organization?
Well, the entire board of directors is very active. We have a board of directors of 15 directors, including the president. 40% are Italian, 60 Filipinos. The Filipino director are, but also the Italians are everybody is very active. Yeah. I'm very happy with my board of directors.
So
you came here 4 years ago to live?
I came here, 4 years and a half. Yes. And then I was lucky enough to find the Philippine Italian Association in search of a general manager. So I joined the organization almost as a few months after my arrival.
have you met a Filipina to marry?
Yes, the women are always the reason of a big change in life, and
What exactly happened?
I'm not
Tell us your
an
story.
exception.
Tell me about that. Tell
No,
us.
yes. Well, I followed my wife. She wanted to go home. She was
in Milan.
We met in not in Milan. We met in Trento more than 10 years ago, and then we from Trento to Paris to southern France and to Manila. Yes, we moved around.
So you've been married for like how many years?
9 years now.
Oh wow!
Yes.
How is it like being married to a Filipina? Is it true what they say about Filipinas being?
I don't know. I've never been married with another woman, so I cannot say. No, I know what does it mean to be married with to my wife.
Yeah. So what does it mean to be? Are you happy?
A lot of joy, a lot of headaches.
Does she cook?
She learned to cook some Italian food. Yeah.
Oh.
She's very good in risotto, but she doesn't cook for me. No, she
Do you cook for her?
I cook for her. Yeah.
What do you cook? Pasta.
No.
Gnocchi is something that I would like to do. Yes.
Right.
I think it's something, but it takes time, and yes, I think we should rediscover those traditions, spending time in the kitchen. Yeah, but somehow we adopted the local habit of eating fast and moving to the living room.
Oh.
So yes, I'm.
Bring back the
There's we are approaching the time of the year when the end of the year is approaching. My vacation also, so I will go back to Italy soon.
Oh.
And so I will go back to the to spend my most of my free time in the kitchen. Yes.
Have you been to places in the country, in the Philippines?
It's been a while actually that I haven't moved from Manila. I think it's time to travel more. Yes, the big islands, yeah.
What so far
Palawan,
have you
Cebu,
seen?
Mindanao.
What have you seen so far that you enjoyed most? Yeah.
I travel sometimes for work, but I think and so I saw different places. But the good memories are of course connected to vacation, free time. So I cannot really say what's the best island because
yeah.
I travel differently in. So I saw many cities and places, but. Well, the first island I visited was Palawan, so I have a special memory with connected to Palawan and the different parts of Palawan.
Any special memory about traffic? Or are you okay with Manila traffic?
Well, I'm working with on my Zen side, and I think traffic is a good gym.
Was it a shock for you? Were you shocked by the traffic, or something you already?
I remember the
expected?
first time I was telling friends in Italy that my friends in general that when I need to be fast, I don't have to use the car. Better I walk, and they were not believing me. But then some of
If
them
you walk,
came
you
to
get there
visit.
faster.
If you need to be at a certain place, better you use in time. Better you use you walk
Public
or you
transport.
or you use a bicycle, but not a car. And people was not believing me, but they changed their mind when they came to Manila. No, well, I believe traffic is it's something here.
But to go back to the Philippine Italian Association, what else do you do? What are the other cultural activities that you've done so far? That you've
The
accomplished?
Philippine Italian Association is partnering with, I mean, is member of UNIC. UNIC is the cluster of the European Cultural Institutes. And then we also participate in the European Union delegation to the Philippines cultural activities and educational activities as well. We do a lot of joint projects with them, and we also organize one of them, for example, is Cine Europa, the European Film Festival.
That's
But
an annual
there's
thing.
yes, this is the annual thing in May. Europe usually there's the Europe month, so there are a lot of cultural activities there. We have been participating into the International Silent Film Festival for the past 10 years, I think. Concert, music, classic music, operas, film festival. We had last year a film festival in partnership with the International Festival of Venice, which is the oldest international film festival in the world. We have a lot of activities actually. We try to be visible mainly in Manila. Unfortunately for us, it's very difficult to organize things outside the capital for logistic reason mainly.
But I think that would be a good idea.
But it will be a good idea, and it's not impossible that we will do it soon. It's a matter of finding the good partners, and then everything is possible. Yes.
Let's talk about Italian movies. They say that they're among the best in the world. Is it true?
Should I disagree? I can agree. No, I know. I think I know. Well, there are good movies from each country. I think there is.
What Filipino movie do you like?
I love Filipino movies. There's one who was present. We made the subtitles for.
Milan.
That was nice. I haven't seen it yet actually, but no, there's a new movie. The name is Lingua Franca. Is the director and actor is Isabel.
Daza. No.
She's based in New York. And it was the entry. The Filipino entry for the Giornate degli Autori at the Venice Film Festival of this year. And well, an impressive movie. It is the most recent I watched, and I found it very, very powerful. Aldovar, Isabel Aldovar. I'm sorry, Isabel.
Do you eat Filipino street food?
I no.
Okay. Just to be safe.
haven't tried.
Yeah, I tried the fish bowls and these things, but I'm not.
You weren't so happy
Yeah.
with it.
No, I'm super happy with Filipino food, but street food is not really. I don't have the habit of eating
Okay.
outside the
Alright.
meal.
Yeah.
So that's my
What's-
cultural background, and I eat when it's time to eat,
Okay.
and that's actually a family issue. So we eat
On
the
the table.
on the table. We
Together.
eat at lunchtime. We eat at dinner
Yeah.
time. It's funny.
That's right. Yeah.
What's your favorite Filipino dish?
I have a special passion for dinuguan.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh,
Yes,
that's good, huh?
yes, I love.
Usually we hear adobo from people.
Do you
Dinuguan.
Yes, I love dinuguan.
do you eat it with puto? That white,
The was
The bun.
the white. It's not bread. It's
Bun.
okay, I see.
that white thing there.
I can eat it with anything,
Rice.
rice, even
Really?
bread. Yeah,
Unusual
good.
answer.
we have something similar in Italy. It's called sanguinaccio. Usually it's a sausage, and
Oh,
Same taste.
but the taste is the same. Yes.
you mean it's like
But then-
Blood
longanisa?
sausage, maybe that.
Yeah. Also, I can eat that.
No, I mean what is it similar to?
Is what the
sausage.
sanguinaccio?
And-
It's dry blood, so
Blood
it's
sausage.
dinuguan.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
it's my
Mhm.
connection in taste.
The
But then
taste.
also the
Yeah.
caldereta, all these different thing of the kind of stew. I'm not super fond of meat actually, and and your cuisine is based on meat. So I don't
Meat
eat Filipino food often, but I love it. Yes.
Okay. So fashion. Are you happy with Philippine fashion, or you'll always want it Italian way?
Fashion.
What do you see on the street? Do you think we dress up well?
Honestly,
That's not
I don't
correct.
know. Depends the city where you go. Depends on. Makati, yes, I think is similar to.
Yeah.
But talking about fashion, we have on November
That's good.
27.
Okay.
For the we have a joint project with the Alliance Française.
Okay. This is
And
good.
they have the French documentary month, November. So we are partnering with them, and we have a documentary screening, fashion victims, talking about the other side of fashion. We always talk about fashion on a certain point of view, and we never talk about the
Behind
labor.
this.
And labor, and it's the documentary is wonderfully done. The two authors are Italian and will be there presenting their documentary. Chiara Cattaneo and Alessandro Brasile. So they will be there talking about their work, and you will see if you will have the chance to watch the documentaries. Beyond the topic, that is a strong topic, but is artistically is wonderfully done. So I was able to not answer your question about the fashion.
But that's about fashion anyway. This Christmas, what is the Philippine Italian Association coming up with? Do you give gifts to people? I mean, I'm not asking for
Yeah,
a
how is
gift,
it?
but
Christmas?
do you have a charity
Yes, the Philippine Italian Association actually supports three Italian missionaries or missionary organizations.
Oh, what are these?
And one is the Canosso Tondo Children Foundation.
Oh,
So they are in Tondo, of course, and they have premises also, a place also in Tagaytay where they bring children to breathe food air. And then the Servants of Charity, the Guanella Servants of Charity, they are based in Tangansora, and the Sisters Handmaids of Charity,
okay.
in Quezon City, also near Miriam College. So what we try to organize every year is a charity drive.
Okay.
So we collect gifts, food,
From
clothes,
among
etc., and then
yourselves.
from the members and whoever who want to
Okay.
participate, our students and those who are watching us. And so we collect, and then we distribute. We have we distribute them. And this one, and we support social project of the three organizations. So recently we supported a new mission in Pangasinan created by the Servants of Charity, and so there are different, we participate in the creation of this church.
What
Yeah.
mission is this?
They open I don't know how to call it, it's not a branch, it doesn't exist
okay,
in a branch
yeah,
for
okay.
missionaries,
So
but
they-
is that
okay,
they
yeah,
open a new
yeah.
mission in
I see. I thought there was a mission or something. Okay. So I think we.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
we have the Christmas party.
But of course.
The major
The
events
three,
of the year.
This is, well, it's not one of the major events. It's the major event for our members and
Yeah.
whoever wants to discover about the Philippine Italian
Because
Association.
that's when you all get
Everybody's
together
there.
and renew
Yes,
ties. No, yeah, that's right.
and Christmas is good, a good time to get together.
But think about it. Are the Filipinos as warm, as caring, as
In what ways are
As-
Filipinos similar or
as
different?
the Italians?
Italians.
The very
Filipinos are probably warmer than the Italian.
really.
Yes.
Oh, I
But there
thought-
are many points of view, common points. And I think it's not by chance that the Filipino community in Italy is the largest in Europe.
Yeah.
I think that since we don't have historical ties,
Right.
or linguistic ties,
Yeah, that's right.
so I think it's interesting to, it's an interesting,
But we have religious ties.
religious,
I think the
family,
family,
for
the
the-
importance
the importance of family. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what's similar about us,
Yeah.
right?
It's interesting. Yeah, there are.
And temperament, I think, the way we react to things.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
The
that's right.
emotional,
Yeah, the emotional side.
Right.
Possible.
But this is different. An Italian comes to the Philippines and marries a Filipina. Although you were married there,
Before.
right? Yeah. Okay. So I think. One more thing. There's something about Picafetta.
Mm.
Was he Italian?
He was from, well, Italy at the time didn't exist. Italy is very recent. Is
Okay,
like
okay.
like the Philippines. We unified in the 1861.
Okay.
Between 1861 and 71, 2 stages. But anyway, so Italy was not there when Pigafetta. But he's from Vicenza in the what is now northern Italy.
Oh, so he's
So,
Italian.
so
in that
he's
sense.
Italian. We can say geographically, and so the first vocabulary dictionary Filipino to Italian is due to Pigafetta, because Cebuano to
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Venice dialect, but we can
Yes.
say Filipino to Italian, making it contemporary, was due to Pigafetta. He was taking notes of the words and translating them into his language. And so everybody knows Pigafetta, no? He came here with Magellan. He was the chronicler of Magellan. So the first records that we have about that we European have about the Philippine culture is thanks to him. So for us, it's very very important. Very important. And this first dictionary.
Yeah, and this was in 1521. So
Exactly.
that's like 500 years from 2 years from now.
In 2021 will be 500 years.
Do you have any plan for that?
We are working on a series of activities. You know, in 1981 or 82, I don't remember exactly, the Philippine Italian Association made a statue to Pigafetta, and it's now there outside Fort San Pedro in Cebu.
In Cebu.
It was done by Imao, and that statue. Who was at the beginning was watching the sea, looking at the east, the west, sorry,
Facing.
and facing the west with the chroniclers. The statue of Pigafetta is like watching Italy, or Europe, and his chronicler on one hand, the pen on the other one, and like sending the chroniclers home. And now he's not watching the sea because they constructed a building there, and that building is the post office. So he's sending through the post office his letters home.
Okay.
No, that's very funny. But no, I started this because it's near the sea, so the salt in the air is damaging the statue. So we need to restore it. So one of the activity most probably will be the restoration of the statue, and moving it in a. Maybe inside for San Pedro, this will be discussed with the city of Cebu, and then we are working with a group of or discussing at this point with a group of illustrators to do something about Pigafetta. I would like to do to capture the moment of the encounter between Pigafetta and the Cebuanos. So we know the point of view of Pigafetta and the Spaniards, but we don't know the other side. So I would like to reconstruct that moment from the two points of view, and then there will be for sure other activities more academic, let's say. About Pigafetta, the historical figure, his importance, his
So between now, Leonardo and Pigafetta, one can look forward to so many things. Okay, with that, we ask you to invite again our viewers to the Leonardo
da Vinci. Yes, let's go back to the beginning. Leonardo is really the most important series of activities project that we have this year. So from November 13 to November 21, we have a series of activities. You can find everything on Facebook at the page Leonardo in Manila, and on the website of the Philippine Italian Association, which is philippinitalianassociation.org. And then on the website most probably of our partners, the Cultural Center of the Philippines, the Film Development Council of the Philippines, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, etc. So it's a unique opportunity to get to know this historical figure better, and understand how it's still relevant to us, not just as Italians, but as human beings, people.
So we say thank you again. Thank you, Alessandro.
Thank you for having me here.
It was our pleasure. Dina, thank you. This is Jojo Silvestre saying thank you to all of you. Spotlight has been with you once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay na, Paul.
No? We do it again?
Off na. I-cap mo, ha?
Cut na.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was very nice.
Very nice meeting and talking with you.
That was fun. Although I didn't know how to start it.